This is how we do our Wednesday evenings. And today, Mwezi iko kona tuko mid-month. So what we are doing is we are giving you a mid-month Q&A. And we are going to answer all your car-related questions. Na naona watu wameanza kustream in. Naona Achieng Frederick akisema ako ndani kama kafogo kwa inaitwa nini? Kwa Ministry of IT. Siku hizi hii mko na maneno. Anyway, nani mwingine naona Crypto Forex anasema ashafika. Karibu sana bwana Crypto. Who else? Watu hawatumi salamu na waseme wanatuachia kutoka wapi. Harmless Level ako very tuned in. Watu waingie. Na hii story ya Kafogo by the way. Nini mnaonea mzae bwana? Mnajua hata paka mzee hukunywa maziwa. So acha atalan tu IT. Kafogo ni generation gani? Ni boomers. Wanakuwa boomers ama wanakuanga ni wale watu wanashikanga smartphone hivi. but the dude tweeted and said that he's very happy with what is happening, and it is good that he's learning, and tunaweza sema Kafogo is Gen Z with experience. So just like one we have here. So tuachane tu na yeye tu, let's love him for who he is. Nani mwingine naona Joseph Achala, we have Rex Titan ndani from Ruai. Ruai sahi hakuendeki. Ruai sahi kama huna gari 4-wheel drive ni black cotton. Who else? Edward Aberi anasema locked in, Nico locked. Odero anasema why do you say Nissan Hereba Hybrid 2016 kiboko yangu haijanisumbua other than repainting works. Unajua hata ukiwa na mtoto mwizi kuna mtu anasemanga ni mzuri. Kweli there are always two sides of a coin. Vince Bryan anasema bado una shoot ukiwa kwa church, vipi locked in from Kirinyaga? Bwana ndio mtoe sadaka. Ni wana shootia kwa church. The other thing, James Maina anasema Muranga Kandara locked. Karibu sana Muranga. James Maina, tuko na jirani yako hapa kwa set leo anaitwa Ken. Ni pia yeye ni huko Muranga Kandara. Na bado wanasema anaishi Nairobi. Kevin Gigi anasema ako ndani sana, and mtuambie mko wapi, na ngoja watu waingie so that we can start off. And we are starting off today with some very good news, and this is courtesy of Grande Motor Imports. Kuna watu wanaitwa Kenya Revenue Authority, na from the beginning of July, officially 1st July of 2025, KRA will not be using CRSP to tax motor vehicles. That is according to one of their latest circulars, and we are getting this information from Grande Motor Imports and our agent down in Mombasa, anaitwa Saimo. So this is the latest from KRA. Now the question is, if they are not going to be using CRSP, what are they going to be using? This is the interesting bit. They are going to be using the actual invoice value of the car. What does the actual invoice value of the car mean? That means that if you have bought this Range Rover from Japan, by the way inakuanga na alarm. Kwa nini? Oh. Inakuanga na alarm. Msione hivi. So if you are buying this nyamaza sasa. If you're buying this Range Rover from Japan and you get an invoice ya kununua hii gari tuseme ni 500,000, they are going to tax you based on the invoice value, 500,000 ya hii gari. It's a good thing to the Kenyan car buyer because it's likely to bring down the cost of motor vehicles. But the question is, unajua wa Kenya ni watu wanapenda madeal, as Tom says from Grande. Are you sure that these invoices are not going to be doctored? How are they going to source the genuine invoices, especially from countries such as Thailand, Singapore, and the UK? You know, Japan, it's easy to verify. But what about Japan, Singapore, and the UK? Well, what does this mean? It means that magari zitakuja na bei rahisi kulingana, but sasa pia madila wanatuangushanga. Unapata duty itapungua lakini bei za magari hawatapunguza. Anyway, we are not going to have scenarios of cars like the Subaru XV going for ridiculous prices because they are being taxed heavily. So it's about time. At least there's something positive to say. I think this time mmefile return sana 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 watu wa magari hadi KRA wakaona, let's give these guys a chance. But anyway, we don't know for how long. So wacha tungoje July, watu wanataka kuimport. Remember, you can import with us. Na we have a partnership with Grande Motor Imports. So mnaweza leta magari na sisi to come to enjoy hii bei, na to explore how KRA is going to tax these vehicles starting from July. Things are going to get quite interesting. Na wacha nirudi hapa kwa wakurugenzi. Who else? Simon Mwema Peter anasema watching from Mombasa. Simon is our official clearing agent in Mombasa, na I think hii weekend pia kuna mambo anatayarisha hapo. We are going to clear 2 units for some clients who have imported with us. Nani mwingine naona. So Peter, asante sana, good work. Uh, Peter Nganga anasema locked in from Republic of Saudi Arabia. Anasema mambo ni sitamaliza hiyo statement. Unajua lazima ukae ukiangalia kama kuna Subaru hapa nje. Tutaki maneno mingi. So Nyam Kongo anasema karibu sana members. We have Samuel Waithera anasema Kimbembe Mwea tuko tuned. Karibu sana watu wa Kimbembe. Hiyo pishori tuorganize hiyo pishori tafadhali. Kevin Kiptum, niko site from LD. Na Kevin Kiptum, kama uko Eldoret na hujatembelea our new subsidiary Neon Mobility pale Pioneer, unafanya makosa. Enda hata kama ni kuenda kuona tu. Kuona ni bure, kazi ndiyo pesa. Sasa Kevin Kiptum. Collins Tongoch watching from Syokimau, karibu sana Collins. Then we have Brian Mawira from Juja is tuned in. Osman Roba saying good job Eric, asante sana Osman. Stanley K Kimaita, bro, keep doing your thing, kazi safi, very informative, asante sana Stanley. Cornelius Rono from Mogogosiek, watching from Maral at the moment. Funny thing, anasema njia ni Bomet, Silibuet, Kapkoros or Kericho Litain. Boito Eric, you bought all the G-touring from Mogogosiek bwana. Mimi nilimenunua. Unajua by the way, naona watu wananizoea vibaya cause kila mtu anitianga gari mzee. Kila mtu akiona gari imelala mahali anakuanga hii gari ni Wakabi would be interested. So anyway, na Collins Rono, I know those places. He's watching from Maralal. I've been in Maralal, salimia watu wa pale Poro pale kuna nice sceneries. Then we might be coming to Maralal very soon. Ama aje Andy? Wacha tusiwatobolee siri. Si ndio? In the month of June naona kama tutafika huko. And then who else? Watu wa Mogogosiek. Mogogosiek is a very interesting place. Unaweza ingilia pande ya Bomet ama unaweza ingilia pande ya Kericho, lakini sasa Mogogosiek kuna kuanga na baridi sana. Lakini Cornelius nikikuja huko hebu organize mursik kidogo. We have Evelyn Jerry tuned in from the city of the world. City of the world ni Thika. Let me not make assumptions. Anyway, Peter Nganga anasema kama dealers hawapunguzi tutaleta sisi wenyewe through Grande Motor Imports. Tamu umesikia hiyo maneno Then we have Beast Creations from tuned in from Meru Harmless Level. Anasema hey Wakabi, what's your take on the Volvo XC40 2019 for a first time car owner? Well, the XC40 is a very interesting entrant into the market. It's a subcompact crossover SUV, quite a performer, and it has carried on the legacy of safety, through Volvo, because Volvo is a brand that we associate with safety. Now, the problem with the XC40 is that it's quite new and you might not easily get parts locally. So that might be the biggest challenge. But as the car continues to become popular, parts might become, available. But for now, for a first-time car owner, yes, if you have a good budget, it's a nice car, it's a performer, it's very easy on fuel, it's a vehicle that cares for its occupants. But hapo kwa spare parts kidogo, hata service parts, lazima utafute, lazima uingie kwa group za Volvo. So it's up to you to decide whether you want it for a first-time car. But I would recommend, if you're new to cars, you can start with a car that maybe you can afford to bash around kidogo without having to have very expensive bills. So that's my personal opinion on that matter, but the XC40 is a nice car. Kuna mtu anaitwa Pauli Pilot Ipolot watching from Lokicha to Kana. Salimia watu wa Lokicha sana. Who else is here then? Kuna jamaa hapa mwingine anasema Stanley Omondi tuned in from Kisumu Dala kama kawaida. Na Stanley nilikuambia bana, salimia Japengo hapo hiyo area ya kunaitwa aje, kuna garage fulani iko pale kunaitangwa Nyamasaria hapo. Salimia wa jamaa wote wa Peng hapo, ni mabeshi zangu sana. Ankotex anasema Charles Adabu tuned in from Nairobi, the city of ule msewa Dimples. Leo umefanya mmoja pekee, niko tuned in kutoka Uganda. Welcome our Ugandan friends, by the way. Karibuni sana. Feel at home. It's very good that we are having an increased audience of increased audience from Uganda, and asanteni sana. Josh Homan, glad to be here. Welcome Josh Homan. Josh Homan is one of those people who have not let us down, so we appreciate you, John Homan, for always being part of this live broadcast. There was another interesting question hapa that I had found. Langat Frank anasema kazi mzuri bana from Kericho. Stickers bana to spoil hii Kericho. Ken, unasikia mambo ya stickers? Si utafanya ile maneno wazi. Stickers coming soon. Metro News, hey Wakabi, what's your opinion on the reliability of the Mercedes-Benz C200 with the M274 engine? Also, I'm selling my Premio G Superior for 1.2 million Kenya shillings. Metro News, unajua mahali unatuma hizo picha WhatsApp, tumia namba iko hapo kwa screen, hiyo 0710844863. Na wale wase wanasema tunashutia kwa kanisa, pia unaweza tuma sadaka kwa hiyo namba. Tuma 310, panda mbegu. Plant the seed. So the 274 is an engine that has been tried and tested in the Mercedes-Benz family. It's not a bad engine if routine maintenance is followed to the letter. It's an economical engine. Over 100,000 kilometers, you might need to service it, to give it a major service, because from there you might experience a bit of some leakages. But it's a lovely engine. It balances between fuel economy and performance, and it's not, comparing it to other European brands, yes, it does score quite decently when it comes to the reliability aspect. Kuna jamaa anaitwa the Spark of Inspiration. Eric, what's your take on the Mazda Atenza for a first-time car owner? Great car. Beautiful car. Osman Bora anasema, Eric, I have a question concerning car importation from outside. Na hii maswali mbona inaruka. Will it be possible if I used someone to import on my behalf? Remember that person is living with disability. Unfortunately, it will not be possible. And we had that discussion with Tom the other day. Tom hako mbali. Tom, ingia tu kwa set uexplainie hawa watu hii maneno ya kuimportia, mtu anakuja analeta gari na person with disability. So Tom is with us. Tom ako hapa. As he gears up, I would like Tom to answer Osman's question. And we have seen people get scammed na hiyo maneno. So wacha Tom akikuja akijitayarisha kuingia, wacha ni jibu hii swali ya Peter Mukusu. Anasema, hello Okabi, what's your take on the CX-5 2 liter for a first time owner? It's a great car. The CX-5 is a great car. Anthony Gikabi anasema, hello Okabi, what's the ideal dream car? Tuone kama tunaweza kuanzisha pay bill. Mimi niko na dream car mbili. Land Cruiser 80 series na BMW E30 320i. Sitakangi magari mingi. Ni mzee lakini hizo nikinunua naenda retirement. Anyway, Joseph Achala is saying, kindly advise between an Isuzu D-Max double cab and a Toyota double cab. Now, the discussion between Isuzu and Toyota is it's a tough one. But before we embark on the discussion between Toyota and the D-Max, we have Bwana Tom hapa. Tom, naweza kuna huyu jamaa anaitwa Osman Roba. Na anasema anataka kutumia mtu, a person living with disability, kumletea gari. Lakini namwambia si possible.
Ni tricky sana. Si kitu inawezekana because kuna documents zenye zitahitajika. Na lazima ionyeshe this person who is importing this car ako na ability ya kuinunua. Lazima statements zake ziko na do.
Yes.
Iwezi kuwa all of a sudden amewekewa do then akanunua gari. So lazima waangalie biashara gani anafanya, mshahara yake inatoshana aje, flow ya do kwa account yake, because they ask for 1 year statements. So ni ngumu sana.
Umesikia Osman? Osman, I hope Tom has answered your question, because it's a question that so many people are asking. And so it's technically not possible as per KRA right now. So that's an answer umepata kutoka kwa Mzee Mzito from Grande Motor Imports. In case you're importing with us, Tom is the person who you're going to be dealing with, and we have successfully brought 3-4 cars, and more to come. So tuendelee na hii discussion. Na kama uko na swali za imports, tafadhali you can ask Tom. Na tulikuwa kwa hii maneno ya Isuzu D-Max ama Toyota Hilux, and the answer would be both are great pickups. The D-Max is however cheaper, but in terms of reliability they are at par. So it will largely depend on what you want to do with the car. But again, the Hilux has an edge over the D-Max when it comes to performance, but they are equally good. In fact, Vita ya Toyota Hilux na Isuzu D-Max sijui itawahi isha lini. Let's tuendelee tu. Morioki Marigi anasema niko tu hapa kwa baridi, keeping hydrated. Morioki ako na Pajero, iko na engine ya 4D56. Na Morioki is a very good friend of ours. Na tunataka kwenda na yeye at least atuonyeshe trails za huko Limuru, so that we can get to drive the Trooper and his Pajero there. The Pajero is very beautiful, by the way. He has an awesome car. So asante sana Morioki Marigi, tutaongea kwa simu very soon. Samuel Waithera anasema Okabi, by the way, do we have wase uchukua magari mzee wana build then sell? Juu naweza penda models atene old school plus kazi yao ni safi. So Samuel, if you want a classic car, the best thing is to build it, not to buy it. Your mother samanga, build not bought. So nunua tu classic car, jenga customize it to your needs, other than just buying it from someone hujui amepitia shortcut gani. The beauty of owning a classic car is actually building it. Alan Amondi, how do you rate the RAV4 2017? It's a nice car for a relatively old person. It's reliable, but it's not the most exciting vehicle to build. But fast forward to drive. But fast forward to 2022, the RAV4 XA50, man, that's now a RAV4 that it balances between maturity and youthfulness. So, Martin Jenga, hello Eric, between a Suzuki S-Cross 1600cc and a Subaru XV 2000cc, all 2018 models, which is the better buy in terms of reliability, availability of spares, and affordability? First time buyer. The only problem I have with the Suzuki S-Cross is it has looks that only a mother could love. It's a good car, it's reliable. Suzuki's they don't disappoint when it comes to reliability. So isipokuwa looks, and then the other thing, the XV has an added advantage over the Suzuki in this manner. XVs come standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive system, but for the Suzuki you actually have, if you want all-wheel drive, you have to buy it ile inaitwa all grip. Yeah, but the Suzuki is not a bad car, but I would feel you would have more confidence in motion if you get the XV. However, the XV is more expensive compared to the S-Cross. So kama mfuko inalia kidogo, pia S-Cross si gari mbaya. Alafu tena hii maneno ya looks, I always say huendeshangi gari ukiwa nje, unaendesha ukiwa ndani. So you do not drive your car while looking at it. Sawa. So sometimes looks again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but trust me, it has looks only a mother could love. Stephen Omondi anasema Jopeng Wanyamasari hawakutambui. Ai bwana, labda ile jina umewapatia hawanijui na hiyo jina. Osman Roban anasema Okabi, will you advise someone to own a Toyota 110 manual as his first car? Yes, that's a nice car to actually get. Mm-hmm. James Miner, your views on the Suzuki Ciaz for a first-time car owner in terms of spares, reliability, and maintenance. The Ciaz is actually a very nice car. Most of them were sold 0 mileage, and yes, ni gari mzuri, si gari mbaya. It's a car that you will, ukienda garage labda unaenda tu for routine maintenance. Timothy Chalo, hey Wakabi, what's your take between the Toyota Harrier ASU 65 and the hybrid one, considering their performance? Personally, I would go for the ASU 65. Yes, I know we are going green, but I feel the ASU 65 is more of a driver's car. Remember, the ASU 65 comes with an automatic gearbox, unlike the hybrid one that comes with an ECVT. So you will have more fun driving the ASU 65. So the ASU 65 is more of a driver's car. Noni Soni anasema hello Wakabi, between the Honda Accord and the Honda Vezel, which one would you recommend? Nasikia Vezel iko na mashida za gearbox. Between the two, mostly hybrids. Okay. Yes, we are having problems here and there with Honda dual clutch gearboxes, but you see, if you're talking about Honda hybrids, then you will not escape the Honda dual clutch transmission. So whether it's on a Vezel, whether it's on a Fit, whether it's on a Grace, whether it's on an Accord, all of them will have that Honda IDCD gearbox. It's in layman's terms, it's basically a dual clutch gearbox. And the reason why Honda used the dual clutch on their hybrid variants is because for a long time people had perceived Honda hybrids to be boring cars to drive, like the previous generation of the Honda Shuttle, the hybrid one. That was a car to move from point A to point B. Apart from that, hiyo ilikuwa gari ya movement pekee, but with the second generation of the Shuttle hybrid and even the Fit, basically the Honda lineup with the IDCD, the dual clutch transmission from Honda, you get to enjoy driving a hybrid car. And that was some very innovative tech that came from Honda. Now the setback is the dual clutch transmission keeps on failing, and this is because of wear and tear factor. Because remember, we are importing these cars when they are 8 years old. So there is normally, and the reason why most these dual clutch transmissions fail, they fail because of some wear on the clutches or the actuator failing. So those are some of the problems that are encountered. But however, these problems are not as common as they are projected out there. Yes, Zico, but the cases are not. For Nissan, we know the cases are so many, but for Honda, they are not as many. In fact, there are people who have lived with these Honda hybrids for the second generation of Honda hybrids for quite a long time, and they have not had any problem. So we normally say, as long as you import or you get a vehicle that is quality, then itakuserve. Lakini ukienda uchukue gari mbovu, basically problems are going to catch up with you soon or later. Sawa, I hope Nonisoni nimejibu hiyo swali yako. Situk Junior anasema hello Wakabi, niko na 400, naweza pata gari gani for a first time car owner? Pale unaweza pata Toyota Corolla 110, same unaweza pata Nissan Sunny B15. Ukichukua manual utakuwa sawa kabisa. With 400 pia unaweza pata gari inaitwa Toyota Belta, lakini wakisi wanaitanga Toyota Berita. That is how they say it in Kisii. But if you're buying a Belta, please do not go for the 1000cc one, go for the 1300cc. Tukiwa kwa hiyo lineup ya magari za 400,000 unaweza pata Nissan Note E11. Again, that's also a good car, economical, spacious and very easy to maintain. Kwa hiyo lineup ya Nissan bado tuko na gari inaitwa Nissan Tida. That's also another very easy to maintain vehicle that you can get for 400,000 Kenya shillings. Sawa, tuendelee. Victor Mark, VP Rico, Subaru BR9 from 2009 to 2011, reliable for a first-time car owner. If you're buying a BR9, get the one with the FB25 engine, because the one with the EJ25 lazima uangalie maneno ya timing belt. Also, the Lineatronic CVT, if you're getting it, make sure that it does not have leakages from the gearbox, because those can actually persist. The other thing is that make sure your gari see accident, because these are my BR9 for some strange reason. I don't know why. You know, Outbacks are known to be driven by a mature lot of people. Look at the BP9s and even the BS9s. But here katikati BR9 sijajua shida ilikuwa gani. But you know, the BR9 was also a transitional model, because you could find some with the EJ25, others with the with the FB25. They were in between. So they are not bad cars, but buy the later models. They will serve you a bit better. But generally si gari mbaya, ni mafuta tu inakunywa. Sawa sawa. Vince Bryan anasema, how do you think about a Mini Cooper Countryman or Clubman as a daily driver? What's the budget to buy and maintain it? Vince Bryan, remember hiyo gari unasema ni BMW. It's literally a BMW. I hope that answers your question. Alex Ketoyo, hey sir, between a Mazda Axela sedan and hatchback, which one is the best for a first time car owner? I'm confused. Ajua, they are basically the same car. The difference is the body design, so it all narrows down to your needs, but basically ni the same. Sasa kama we ni mtu unataka a hatchback, then get a hatchback. Kama unataka sedan, go for the sedan, but literally it's the same car, same reliability. The sedans are a bit cheaper. Yeah, so again, that's a very personal decision. Tips, anaitwa Tapestry of Wisdom. Gadha paint job for a salon pale kwa Donga Car Bakery ni kama mangapi? Tapestry of Wisdom inalingana kama hiyo gari ni inalingana surface yake inakaa namna gani. Kuna several factors to consider before you can get a quote, but unaweza enda pale na uitishe quote. Elias Mosh anasema, hey bwana CK, advice on an Audi A3 2011 for a first time car owner. To be honest, I would not advise you to go for that one. Anza na gari yenye parts unapata karibu. Alafu tena it's in terms of reliability. Okay, the FSIs were not bad, but honestly speaking, if you're looking at a 2011 vehicle, tafadhali tend to lean towards the Japanese side, because hizo Audi mzee, they are good. Some of them are very reliable. Again, it depends on the engine it has come with, but I would feel that maybe a Japanese would serve you best, especially if it's a first time car. Sawa sawa. John Kangosing anasema, hey Eric, watching from Ruiru. Now, who is going to save Nissan? Niliona walichuja another bunch of their stuff over 10k. I thought Honda and Mitsubishi would save the boat, but si Nissan walikataa kuingia kwa hiyo alliance ya Honda. I think they cancelled that agreement. Anthony Muremi, hey Wakabi, would you recommend a Volkswagen Polo 2011 Mark 6, a good car? How is it to service it here in Kenya? Mark 6, the Polos are not very bad. At least now we have more VW support. Kina Christine pale wanafanya kazi mzuri pale. Identity Rides, wewe leo umechelewa. Josh Homan, won't be Mitsubishi. They are also in trouble. Yes, Mitsubishi has been in trouble for quite some time now, and that's why they are building cars that are not very appealing. Then we have Alvin Kimani. Hello, what do you think of these guys, Daihatsu Feroza or Rocky as a first time daily car? How available are they? The Feroza is actually a nice off-roading car. And you know, when you talk about cars that go off-road, one, they are good off-road. Ikifika on-road, they might be slow sometimes, and Ferozas are not necessarily the most comfortable vehicles. So it depends on, yes, it can be a daily car. Unajua unaweza kuwa unataka daily car na unafanya kazi Maralal, ama unafanya kazi huko Marsabit ndani. So unajua huko huwezi peleka Suzuki Swift. For those areas, a Feroza would be a good car. But tell us, what is your terrain? Wapi unaendeshea gari sana? The other thing about Ferozas is that spare parts, hizo nazo utajikuna kichwa. There are not so many. Tycoon 001 ndio amefika, karibu achelewe. Na mkichelewa akina Tycoon tutaanza kuintroduce fines. Kama mtu mwingine hapa anatupatianga fines akiitwa majina fulani, sitataja. Anyway, Kevin Ayeko anasema hello Okabi, for 4 million kati ya Volvo S90 na Toyota Crown RS, which one would you recommend? Looking for comfortability, practicality, which one is more value for money? Now the S90 is, it's a beautiful vehicle, bana. S90 is it's a nice car. It's, you know, sometimes it's all about what money can buy. The Crown is known for the reliability aspect, but the S90 is also a nice car. In fact, if I had that money, naona kama naweza egemea upande wa S90 kidogo, because that car is, it's a lovely car. It's a beautiful car. Jim Dukes anasema hey Wakabi, good morning oh, good job champ. Karibu nashangaa ni saa ngapi? Good job champ. Kindly what's your take on the Arteon? Can it be tuned like the Golf R? We are still waiting for the Serena e-power review before we make decisions. Serena inakuja. Relax my friend. Lakini hii mtapenda. Najua picha zake zimetokea kwa mtandao kidogo, but actually if you follow me on Instagram, I'll have something for you on Friday. Umuone venye inakaa kidogo before ingie kwa hizi streets itese Kanairo. So the Arteon is another beautiful creation from Volkswagen. In fact, kwanza ikikuja tu na the sportback design, oh my god, wachana hata na ile inaitwa shooting brake, chukua tu sportback, it just has something in it about the tuning it like the Golf R. I think tuning VWs is not, if you get somebody who knows his craft, then tuning an Arteon would be possible. But why would you need to tune an Arteon in the first place? If you're thinking of tuning an Arteon, it means you're not target market for the Arteon. You kaa kwa Golf hapo. But Arteon ni a buy and drive. It's a car that you want to experience it in its natural form. Tuko pamoja. Imagine mtu ako na Arteon na inapiga pops and bangs. Utakaa kama uko out of place. Hiyo gari tu, it's a vibe in its own, even without the tune. Charles Smith anasema hello Eric, how reliable is a Volvo V90? Mwaka gani? Mkuu, we miss shitbox reviews, fanya mambo. Watu wa shitbox bana, I got you. Pia shitbox na Eric wa Identity yako na shitbox fulani hapo, amekataa nayo, anauza pesa mingi. Unajua, we normally say the essence of life is driving a shitbox that is built like a can. Yani gari unajua tu kuna adrenaline fulani inakuambianga tu kuna kashida kanaweza tokea dakika yoyote. So you're literally driving that car on the edge. And that is the beauty of driving the so-called shitboxes. Brian Mawira anasema hey bwana Wakabi, which car would you advise someone, a lady, to buy as a first time car? Mainly kwenda site visits. Budget maximum for 4 million. Site visits ni site ya mjengo. Brian, ebu tuambie more about this. Karota Uganda, thank you so much for this Uganda, for this information. Karota, welcome Sebo, welcome to here. We are coming to vote on your behalf in Uganda. Thank you so much. That's what neighbors do, they help one another. Well, Erasa Cheriot, lakini hapa kwa looks don't matter, hai apply na some Nissan cars kama Juke, when it comes to Juke zina matter looks bwana. Hiyo unajua hata ukiwa ndani, unajua uzuri wa gari ni unaendesha ukiwa ndani, lakini kuna gari zingine, you know, I always tell you of a theory as to why women like Jukes. Women have a motherly love, and the Juke is one of those cars that only a mother could love because of the looks. Unajua mama hawabagui, ni genuine love. So for you to buy a Juke, you have to genuinely love the car. Hiyo si kusema ati I bought this car because of looks. No, there must be a reason why you bought that car. MKC anasema hebu fanya content kuhusu Probox with a CVT. Huku nje imefanyia watu character development vibaya sana. Rafiki yangu anabeba maziwa, amebadilisha gearbox mara 2 in 2 months. Sasa unabeba maziwa na CVT. We always tell you that CVTs are not meant for high torque applications, apart from with exception ya watu wa Karatina. Watu wa Karatina, they are known to, unaona Sienta imebeba watu kama 10 na iko na CVT 9 for some strange reasons. I don't know what kind of magic Karatina people do. sijui, lakini basically CVT transmissions are not meant for high torque applications. Ndio maana unaona hata zile za miraa hakuna mingi sana hizi za CVT. Most of them ni zile, and that's why the prices of the previous generation Probox are at an all-time high because of that factor. Because you see, the 4-speed automatic could handle a lot of abuse. So we will talk about the Probox soon. Don't worry. Sahi tunawapatia we are going through a transition, but I'm sure mtapenda the outcome. Tuendelee. Ancotex anasema Okabi, Subaru Impreza 1600cc for a first time car owner, as long as it's not a GH or a GJ, tuko sawa. Kuanzia GP ziko sawa, hizo zingine za hapo kitambo kidogo achana nao. Tycoon 001, Erico, between a Toyota 100, 110, Nissan B15, which is better in terms of fuel and reliability? Keep in mind zote ni manual. Now, in terms of these cars, for fuel economy, the driver anamata so much. But in terms of reliability, the 100 takes the cup home, especially if it comes with the, and I'll explain why. You see, if you're buying a 100, it will come with either 5E, sasa zilikuwa zinakuja na 5E, the later models. But you see, the E family of Toyota engines and the A family of Toyota engines, all of them were non-interference engines, meaning hata ikisnap timing belts, nothing is going to happen. It's not going to damage the valve train of the vehicle. And also those engines, they were bulletproof. So that's one reason as to why I'll go for the 100 anytime, any day. Tuendelee. Kevin Gigi anasema ulisema Tida first time car una si mbaya, meaning it's reliable, right? Tida si gari mbaya. Actually, uzuri wa Tida hata ni ati it's very cheap to maintain. Yegon anasema, hey Eric, I'm back. Is it possible to upgrade my rear drum brakes to discs cause imekuwa na kelele mob even after servicing and replacing them? Yes, it's possible, but it depends on which car. So Yegon, hebu niambia ni which car, sababu kuna jamaa hapo anaitwa Master Suleiman anapenda sana hizi kazi za upgrades. In fact, he would rather upgrade than repair. Mzee mzito bwana Suleiman hapo, the king of repairs. Emmanuel Frederick, hey Wakabi, between the Outlander PHEV and the non-PHEV, which one do you recommend in terms of reliability or rather cost of maintenance? I'm going to give you a very contentious answer in this manner. You see those Outlanders, the non-PHEV ones, they share the internals of their gearbox with the Nissan X-Trail T32. Zikianza kusumbua, gear zinasumbua. On the other hand, the PHEV is actually quite reliable as long as you don't drive it in water. It has the PHEV is actually something. So I believe if you get the non-PHEV with a good gearbox, it will serve you for a very long time. We have seen them even hit 200,000 kilometers, 250,000 kilometers, and still work perfectly. That is if you maintain your gearbox, you follow a top-notch maintenance routine. So Kevin Gigi anasema ulisema ni Santia. Tida nimesema iko sawa. Calvin Queens anasema hey Wakabi, hi Calvin. Robinson anasema Robinson anaitwa Echoka. Anasema Honda Odyssey hybrid iko aje? Sio mbaya. Calvin Queens anasema nimeona swali lingine ya Calvin. Anasema Land Rover's best LR engine. Ati Langada proper one. Hiyo kuongea tu kweli Calvin, mimi sijaiona hiyo swali. If you ask me, personally, I love the 300 TDI. The 300 TDI is one of the most the toughest engines from Land Rover, and their petrol V8s, they are also quite something. Tuendelea. Machuka Aizo, niaje. Alvin Kimani, I intend to use the Feroza for a balance of both tarmac and off-road, mostly tarmac. In terms of tarmac, it might not be very comfortable. Yeah, because the Feroza was, but it's doable. People drive Suzukis with leaf springs at the front. So yes, it's a bit harsh, but if you can live with it, it's a nice car. The only problem with the Feroza ni tarmac. The King's Kid anasema happy Mother's Day kwa mama wa Jukes. Happy Mother's Day. Na watu wengine hapa sitataja leo. Pia nataka kuwawish happy Mother's Day. Coco, what do you say about VW Mark 5's Mark 6s kama ile ya Alex Mwanzo, pros and cons thinking of getting. Actually Mark 6s and Mark 5s are quite reliable. They hazikuwa na maneno mingi and they are not that expensive to maintain. Tom Keen, hello my mentor. Would you recommend a Toyota NZD for a first time car anytime, any day? Simon Weria, hey Eric, hope you're doing good. How about Isuzu Wizard in terms of reliability and availability of spare parts? Now, the Wizard does share quite a lot with the early models of the Isuzu TFR or the TAFA. So yes, it's, you know, with Isuzus you can never go wrong with engine reliability. Kidogo sana ndio zilisumbua, but I think the Wizard is, it would be a good buy. Nyanza Times News, Honda Fit CVT is reliable than their DCTs. Yes, they are. Are their CVTs reliable than other brands? Honda CVTs are actually reliable. Toyota Honda CVTs are quite good. Alafu Hondas are arguably reliable. What's the cost? What's the case of Honda Crossroad? There are not many. Well, the Crossroad, I think it's more of being embraced in the market. Crossroad mingi hazikuwa watu hawakupenda Crossroad sana, but they were not bad cars, they were actually quite good. Tuendelee. The great anasema aje? Hey Eric, ako wapi? Hey Eric, what is the best vehicle would you advise for a budget of 2 to 3 million, not family, just a young man? Hapo kuna, tuanze na Mazda Axela, Mazda Tenza, tuingie kwa hii gari inaitwa Toyota Corolla Sport, tuingie pia kwa the Toyota Corolla Touring. Pia gari ingine inaweza kuwa mzuri hapo ni inaweza tunua Nissan Skyline 2.0 GTT. What else can we get on that list? 2 to 3 million you can get a Passat. If you want to go European, I think if ukitafuta vizuri pia unaweza pata we mentioned Mazda Atenza kwa hiyo list. Kwa subcompact crossover SUVs zimekuwa expensive, but you can consider buying a Mazda CX-30. It could be good for that kind of budget. You can also get a Honda Vezel. Happy Mother's Day. Gari gani ingine Mitsubishi RVR. Shida RVR, it's good in terms of reliability, but lakini haina mbio na iko na road noise. But unajua kama ni young man, hizo gari nimetaja za kwanza, I feel they would serve you well. Brian Mayeri, by side zinasema zile za kuenda kununua na kuuza mashamba, so affordability is key and the terrain is unpredictable. Hapo chukua gari iko na 4-wheel drive system mzuri, because these people get a Forester. A Subaru Forester would be ideal, because you know, if you get these 2-wheel drive CX-5s, that is the all-wheel drives hazikuangi, they are really not meant for that kind of work. But if you want one that you can take uko kwa mashamba, get a Forester, it will not let you down. Yegon anauza NZD za matakwa boot, hizo ni mzuri sana. What else? Jack Karoga, I want a locally used Golf TSI. From which year do you advise one to buy? I have to drive a VW, but get a VW Golf Mark 6. Hiyo itakuserve vizuri. A Mark 6 will serve you well. Spot anasema, tell me the budget of a Subaru Forester XT 2020 and talk about something about it. Now, the XT 2020 hazikuji na, they are not coming with the FA20 engine. They are coming with a certain 1800cc turbocharged engine, I presume. Yeah. But if you want to buy a good Forester, I think the X-Brake edition would do you good. 2020, I'll have to send that inquiry to the number hapo WhatsApp. You will get a quotation from Tom. Unajua si mingi kwa nini kwa soko, so vitu kama hizi lazima tuangalie. Timothy Wala, is there a Toyota 100 that came with all-wheel drive? They didn't come with all-wheel drive, they only came with 4-wheel drive. Zilikuwa power to the front wheels 50% at the back. Hizo zilikuwa. SKS, what about Caldina 7A, especially consumption? Caldina 7A, the 7A is a very reliable engine. If it's mated to a manual transmission, you get good fuel economy. If you get it mated to an automatic, not bad, but I would say the 7A has fuel economy ya 7A ni mzuri. Kama una complain kuhusu 7A, bwana, tuanze kurudi upande wa nduthi. Sawa. So Lamek Odero, Jabo CK, I have a Nissan Primera P10 1990 year of manufacture where I tend to kuamsha. Parts are available. Is it always Primera utapata parts? Yeah, I think you can get there is angalia shops kama Amex, Taisho, they would have some parts for the Primera, especially body parts. Richard na pia Kariobangi. Big up to all Kariobangi guys wenye wanatu support. Watu kama Pache na Gitau, watu wanatuuzia parts za Trooper pale Kariobangi. Big up guys manze. Pia Gitau wa Mazda 323 pale. Asante sana na akina Mwenda. We have good guys straight out of Kariobangi. Richard kama unasema, hey Eric, I want to do a project car Toyota A91 with 3S GTE ama for AGE. Hiyo statement iko incomplete, Richard. Felon Concepts, hey Eric, how is a Mazda CX-8 all-wheel drive diesel 2020 version? It's a good car. One bad thing for Serena ni gani? Serena S hybrid, and mark my words, not e-power, S hybrid gearbox itakusumbua. Yani the Serena is one of those minivans that has just had a bad reputation until they launched the e-power, because the e-power is a game changer and it could be the reason why Serena prices would actually skyrocket in the very near future. Sawa. Agnes IoT, diesel or petrol engines in mid-size SUV, which one is good? Agnes, that depends on your usage or how you use your vehicle. It's dependent on that, because if you do long trips, diesels would make sense. If you're more of a town person, petrols would be ideal. Brian Dichu anasema, hi Eric, I just got a Nissan Patrol Y61 and I want to swap the engine to the BMW M57 and a ZF 8-speed transmission. That's a very ambitious project. It's very doable. But if let me ask a question, Brian. Did your Patrol come with the 4200cc diesel, or did it come with a ZD30? If it came with a ZD30, ondoa hiyo ghasia kwa hiyo gari asubuhi mapema and swap it with an M57 M57 ya BMW. If it came with inakuwa QD42, keep that engine. QD42, keep that engine. ZD30, remove it like yesterday. Sawa. Tuendelee. Hesbon Brown from North Carolina anawakilisha. Ako wapi? Imeona. Iko wapi? Where is it? Yeah, that question. Oh yes. Imepotea. Okay, I'll find it hapa. Honda Crossroad with a budget of 60k. Ai bwana, wewe hapa umepotea, Vince Bryan. Producer Nyerere Evans anasema ati hayo wachia. Hiyo ni nini? Advice build Toyota 110 grounded for some years. 110 is a good build. Agnes tumeongea. Mazuka hizo anasema B15 hunibamba. Is it possible kuchukua B15 then do yes, it's possible. It's very possible. Hey Eric, Fino anasema talk about the ongoing up and down of Subaru SJG. They easily break down. What might be the issue? SJG sana, steering rack issues, gearbox issues, but SJGs are actually good vehicles if well looked after. I would not see a problem. But if you buy the one with the FA20, ile turbocharged engine, ya petrol, be sure at some point, if you're not very keen on fuel quality and oil quality, itakusumbua. And that engine is not cheap. Currently, it's retailing for like 500,000 Kenya shillings. So if you're buying an SJG, I would recommend that if you want reliability, get the one with the FB20 engine. Sawa. I'm still looking for that. Okay, yes, Hesbon Brown anasema anawakilisha from North Carolina, sipping your wisdom na straw legend moja hadi mwisho. Thank you so much sir. Brian Dicho anasema cost of BMW M57 engine. Uliza pale Waze Auto, but M57 imepanda bei sana in the recent past. Agnes IoT, Mazda CX-5 and CX-8, which one is better? Now the difference is size between the two. The notable difference is size. So the CX-8 is a 6-seater, the CX-5 is a 5-seater. Actually, the CX-8 is a 7-seater. So it's up to you to decide unataka kuingia pande gani. Edwin Mayo anasema, hello Eric, can I get an AZD ya mataa for 500k? First time car owner. I presume it's true. Machuka Ezoyo tumeongea. Ian Karaoke, as 2016 A5, earning around $200 monthly. Yeah, you can manage. Achieng Frederick, balancing and alignment huwa inafaa kufanywa after how long? Well, that is dependent on how you feel the car. It doesn't have maybe a tentative timeline, but at least if ukienda service ya 10,000 kilometers, have your alignment and balancing checked. It's a good thing. Calvin's Queens anasema, is it advisable to convert a Toyota L Touring rear braking system to disc? There are some units. Yes, it's very possible. And actually, you will find that the L Touring can fit the disc brakes, the rear disc brakes from a Toyota Levin. Hiyo familia ya Levin, akina Levin, akina Ceres, it can fit. And even ya zile G-Touring zilikuja na discs at the back. David Juma anasema, hello Eric, I'm happy today nimekupata. Good brother, good job brother, thank you so much. Daniel Wambua, ranks versus Tida, I would go for the ranks. Yegon, can Suleiman, Yegon ako wapi? Can Suleiman upgrade NZD to disc? Rahisi sana, rahisi, very fast. James Courage anasema, which is more powerful and economical between a 3ZR Valvematic and the 3ZR VVTi? First of all, you need to understand what Valvematic is and what VVTi is. Sawa. Before, but basically, you see the 3ZR engines that come with Valvematic technology, they have variable valve timing, intelligent variable valve timing. Sawa. So ziko na hiyo kitu. So Valvematic is just an addition to the VVTi. Will Kavia anasema, hello Eric and family, latecomers wakae wapi? Karibuni sana. James Kanieru, have a vitz nikiweka reverse haina power, what could be the problem? Service your gearbox, or even check, have the transmission checked. Hi Eric, what about Cupra Fomento? Wewe leta gari za soko ya Kenya tafadhali. Brian Dichu, the engine was a D30. Toa hiyo kitu kabisa. Toa na uizike kwa shimo ya futi 6. Usitaki hiyo engine kusumbua. Emmanuel Frederick, hii 2.8 liter iko kwa Hilux. This is the same engine iko kwa 2.8 liter diesel. Yes, it's the 1GD FTV. Same engine, same block, but huku engine ni tofauti. Even the power output is quite different. There are some significant differences, but the block is the same 2.8 liter 1GD FTV engine. Calvin Queens anasema, in regards to Landis conversion ya M57 on a Defender, would you advise to stick on 300 TDI? Personally, I think if you're looking for power, you can go for the M57, but personally I would be comfortable with the 300 TDI, but if you want more power, then go for the M57. Machuka anasema, what's your advice on the RAV4 old model project? Gani hiyo? Huyo 60k namna gani? Matt, pia wewe umeona, what are the issues with okay, Calvin anasema tupe links to Suleiman so that he can do the disk conversion. Wacha ni wa namba ya Suleiman. Uko na namba ya Suleiman Jenzi? Wacha nikutumie kwa message sasa hii, uweke namba ya Suleiman. Kijana mpole, kijana wa Ingo. Hiyo maneno anafanyanga sana. Wacha nitumie Jenzi wapi? Mr. Suleiman Chakombo. Ndio huyu Suleiman. Wacha niwawekee namba ya Mr. Suleiman hapo. Mkitaka hizo mamodi atawekea hapo very fast. Very fast and very neatly. Ni anakuanga senior engineer wa Trooper. Ndio hiyo. I think shortly mtaiona hiyo namba hapo kwa screen. Maswali ni mingi bwana. Okay. K1, sawa, I think that was the second bit of that question. Just a moment. Maswali bana ni mingi, ni mingi sana. Okay. What are the issues with Toyota Ipsum? The only issue ni hizo engine zikienda sana zilikuwa zinakunywa oil. 2.4 liter, but generally it's a good car. Kukunywa oil is routine maintenance. Bill Odera anasema Subaru Impreza 1500cc 2011. Hiyo gari ni ile tulisema ukiwa na hiyo gari hufai kwenda kwa Subaru owners meet. Hiyo hufai kukaa wewe na mtu ako na Subaru Tresium kwa same WhatsApp group. The problem with these 1500cc Subarus is that they are slow and they have bad fuel economy. KY anasema what are your thoughts for somebody starting out their first mid-20s purchase a Nissan Note e-Power? Yeah, e-Power utapata. E-Power is a nice car. Ukisema fueling costs siwezi kupatia because I don't know how you drive, but the e-Power is basically a very economical vehicle. In terms of maintenance, it get it low mileage, it has fewer moving parts. Just it's the only thing that could go wrong in a Nissan Note e-Power is that if the electricals go kaboom, hapo mtaongea, hapo mtaambiana. So if you're getting an e-Power, get it low mileage. Ukiwa na e-Power, avoid detail wash. Ukiwa na e-Power, do not drive it on water. Hujakuwa noa, hiyo si safina, usiendeshe kwa maji. That's another thing I'll tell you. Eric Kiani anasema Chania, yes, anasema hey Eric, talk about the Subaru XV. What is the cost and also how it's hybrid system? How is the Subaru XT engine and gearbox for road trips Kenya to South Africa? I would not advise you to buy a Subaru Forester SJG XT. That engine it has imepiga watu character development sana and it's not expensive. It's not cheap, sorry. XV is good. Its hybrid, I would say, is not very helpful because it's a mild hybrid. It will not do much. Hizo ni zile hybrid jina. It's not a full hybrid like say a Toyota RAV4 hybrid. No, the Subaru Forester hybrid or e-Boxer and the Subaru XV hybrid are actually mild hybrids. So you do not get to enjoy the full hybrid economy. Economy yake I make much sense to buy and there is no big difference when it comes to those mild hybrids. And then Chisiro anasema which is better SUV between CX-5 and Honda Vezel. You cannot compare a CX-5 and a Honda Vezel. The only vehicle you can compare with a Honda Vezel is a Mazda CX-3. Jeffrey Nguri anasema hey Wakabi, additional costs if I was to get a Demio diesel, ensure a seamless experience. What do you mean? Well, if you're driving the car for long distances, then mambo ya DPF unaweza achana nayo. So the Demio diesel is basically a touring car. Make sure you're driving it and everything will be fine. Abdi Osman, hello CK, is it advisable to buy an auction car? If it's clean, buy it. Jim Dukes ameenda wapi bwana? Brian ndicho anasema weka namba ya M-Pesa for support, good works. Namba ya M-Pesa iko hapo, hiyo 0710 iko hapo. Waisu anasema Mr. Okabi, which engine can be put in a Pajero IO? Waisu from Uganda. Now the IO with the GDI engine is basically a problem. And I believe there are so many engines in the Mitsubishi lineup that can actually fit there, from 1500cc to 1800cc. Just avoid the GDI ones. If you can get an GDI engine to fit in that vehicle, the better. I have seen somebody do a crazy mod and fit a 7.8 Toyota engine in an IO. Nothing is impossible under the sun. But Waiswa, I would like to chat you up on WhatsApp, so do send us a message in to WhatsApp on that number that is right there. Yeah, there's something I want you to do for me in Uganda very soon. Evans K anasema between 2018 Toyota Harrier and 2019 Subaru Forester new model, I presume that is the SK edition, which is a better option in terms of reliability, maintenance, cost, and value for money. I'm not a power or speed enthusiast. Well, that's a very hard nut to crack because the Harrier is more luxury oriented. The SK is quite, yes, it has some aspect of luxury, but the SK is quite hardy. And for this case, I would recommend we first get to know the use of the vehicle. But the advantage of the Subaru Forester SK is that it comes with all-wheel drive as standard, unlike the Harrier, which you have to look to search hard for a four-wheel drive Harrier. So time is up. We have had one great hour of a good live session. There are so many questions here zenye ziko hapa. But let me go through them mbio mbio. Abdi Osman anasema safi brother, asante sana Abdi. Ahmed Abdi Ismail anasema niko na Kaldina ya nyama manual, should I keep it or sell it as low as 250k? Manze, kuuza hiyo gari 250k, it's a nice car. Why don't you work on it kidogo, then let it serve you for some more time, because yeah, it's a car that will serve you vizuri. Panyako Adris anasema that's an 1200 pickup from kulima mdogo. Yes. That's ni gari mzuri. Auris prices are very high. Why? It's a demand thing, and also there are so many factors. Okay. Max Kamau, hiyo maneno. Okay. Who else? Someone asked, is it cheaper getting a car from coast or direct importation? Kindly, direct importation is always cheaper if you can wait. EJ anasema first time NZD, good idea, great idea. Jeffrey Kingori anasema unaingia, and my plan was to ask, ushaongelea Nissan, the first thing I heard you say was Nissan Note e-Power, nimefika basi sasa. Elias Wash, CK, would you advise on a Subaru GG3 for a first time car? Unfortunately, no, because 1500cc slow with bad fuel economy. But naona watu wakijikaza nazo huku, but they don't have very good reviews. Still Stanley Omondi, thank you so much for amazing session, na asanteni sana. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your company as well. Tumeshukuru sana being on this session with you guys. So najua hamjaona reviews ama any other content for a while, but from starting next week Monday, we have a fresh burst of content, and trust me, hii hamta resist, hii nayo mtafurahia. Mtakuwa chipo juu itabidi tumewafurahi. Anyway, thank you so much for being with us here. It's been an amazing live session. I get to have fun answering all these questions, and asanteni sana kwa kutushikilia. Sasa watu waende news, ndio kesho waende waone news, ndio hiyo mwaka ingine tuamke mapema kufanya the right thing. Sawa. Good night and over and out.